So, yeah, nothing particularly interesting going on here. Just running slave pens heroic to get another, and I suppose chatting to people who are bored enough to watch the stream. If anyone is bored enough to do that. Okay. Yo, what happened to my pet? So, whatever. Now, I'm traveling here in my PvP gear mostly, but I'm probably going to do this in my PvE gear. Just a PvP spec, but PvE gear. Just because it tends to be a bit faster to kill mobs that way. This set to heroic, so we should be fine, I guess. Let's just make a run for it, why not? Just waiting to see the two guys coming through the tunnel, but they seem to be taking a while. Yeah, so there we go. Why not? I do have my soulstone on just in case I screw this up. Hopefully I won't, but who knows. I'm only really doing this for the nether at this point, although I could also use a bit of gold from vendoring those drops. But it's mostly the nether part. It's just because I've got tailoring, and with tailoring I'm able to make those leg enchants, you know, the runic spell thread, whatever. And that still gives you something like 100 gold for the nether. My gold has been going down quite a bit um, since I sort of had to switch raiding chars. So I used to raid on this warlock and now I'm raiding on the priest. I've had to spend a bit of gold on that one because it wasn't exactly raid ready, so to speak. And we're dragging those two guys away. It should be fun enough, I think. Let's get rid of some hit. We don't need a lot of hit for this thing. Something like that, maybe. What do we have as an option here? Let's see. Much, not really. Oh well, whatever, doesn't matter. And we got a Shadow Trance straight off the bat, always nice. And another one, why not? Should keep things moving faster, I guess. I'm gonna let that guy run around for a bit, just allowing the dots to tick and regenerating some HP with fell stamina and siphon life, fell armor, whatever. But I don't want to let him run for too long, because the dots will fall off, and yeah, obviously I want him to take damage, not just to have a leg day, right? He's probably gonna rain of fire. No? Okay. That's okay, you do that. It's gonna die a bit too far, but I don't care. No rain of fire? Interesting. Oh well, we don't care. That guy did get a hit in with the whole D-Wave thing, but no big deal, we don't mind. And we've dotted the hell out of this guy. Might as well try to get a shard, why not? Sure. And another shard, maybe? Maybe not.
You brought this on yourselves!
Oh yeah, most certainly did. Bring this on myself. Okay. Well, that Blood Fury is not really cool, but like whatever. He's healing. I don't mind though. Just draining mana. And you can see he's already at below half, maybe 30 something %. I accidentally used my healthstone, but it's no big deal. Let's just quickly look at some of these guys. And I drained so much mana there that he failed to cast the bolt, the lightning bolt that is. Too late for Immolate, but that's okay. Should be just fine. Was that the Nova Totem? Too late. Oh well. Close. Oh, the Immolate failed. Crap. Okay. Not really a big deal. How is this guy resisting my corruptions? Like he resisted 2 in a row. Yeah, I've done my daily Ogrilla and Shatari Skyguard and whatever, so now I'm just doing this for a bit of extra gold. Not really worth it gold-wise. I would probably be better off running Mana Tombs or Steam Vaults on the Rook instead of this nonsense, but I kind of want the Nether anyway. Okay, that I do not like. Sure, whatever. He resisted Immolate as well. I don't know what's going on. That should pretty much take care of him. Maybe. Right? Well, we did get a badge. At this point, I really wish I had enchanting. I don't know how my corruption fell off there, but like whatever. Okay. Well, fuck you and your Rain of Fire. I guess we're doing this instead. No problem. At least I got a green, right? Didn't manage to cast on that one. Not initially, but I did now. Thanks, I'm good. Two Rains of Fire is a bit too much. I can tank one, but the second one is always a pain. Okay, we've dealt with that thing as well. Can't remember which one I pulled. I think it was the one on that side, so the other patrol should be on this side. If not, just gonna have to run another lap. No, it was here. Okay, maybe not. Okay, we got rid of those guys. I'm pretty sure I don't need to kill those two defenders anymore, the ones who patrol up there, but I'm gonna kill them anyway. Just because they sometimes patrol into this doorway right as I'm kiting Quagmiran and the rest of the packs, the box trucks and whatnot, so yeah. I am actually gonna try to kill them. And of course the bastards decided to patrol all the way to Marnia just now. Oh well, what can you do, am I right? Got the hell out of them, I guess. Nice. Too slow on the reflect, bro. Too slow. And I can now get rid of these guys. I mean, I don't even have to go to the ledge at this point. I could just train them around until they're dead. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna train them around. No point in going to the ledge for this. They barely have any HP left. And this guy still has a bit. Wrong move, he put up reflect just as I was using my Shadow Trance, Nightfall Cloak, whatever you wanna call it. Just like this guy. Unfortunately. Doesn't change anything though. Quick bandage maybe. Hey, yeah, I did find a guild, but they recruited me initially on my Warlock, and then they asked me to switch to Shadow Priest, so now I'm sort of playing Shadow Priest. I intend to record a video with the raids there, but I've not done so yet. I will, but again, I've not done that yet. There should be a raid on Thursday, sorry, on Wednesday, so yeah. Let's try to drag these guys along with the pack. No. It's actually the guild I'm currently in, on the Warlock as well, called Django Unchained. Sorry, Unbuffed. Thinking of the film. Okay, should be good to go now. There is actually a pug running on Friday with this guild, so you are correct when you say that. But it's not a pugging guild, not really. It's more like they're also running a pug just because not enough people in the guild have alts to have a full guild raid, as in alt raid. So it's like, I don't know, maybe 15 people have raiding alts, and then they sort of go with some pugs, whatever they can find. Come on, boss, get out. Thank you. And where is the patrol? Okay, the patrol is there. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm actually gonna wait for them to pass, just because I've got my soulstone on, well, it's close to expiry, so I'm gonna let them run a lap, then I'm gonna put up my soulstone, and then I'm gonna be pulling Cormiran. There was a pug this Friday as well, and I joined on the Warlock, but it's definitely not what you would call a pugging guild. That's just, filling up the out trade. these guys. See what they actually want to be. But yeah, they initially I talked to them about joining on my warlock, and they did recruit me as a warlock, but it turns out they needed a shadow priest more than they needed a warlock, so I'm now playing the shadow priest as a leading character. Um, well, actually, there are plenty of speedrunning guilds on this server at least, and if you've bugged with these guys, then you are on this server. There are plenty of speedrunning guilds. I know because I was looking for a guild, and obviously I ended up checking what was and what wasn't available, right? Did I even mark those guys? I don't think I did, so I'm gonna try to mark them now. If you don't mind speedrunning, there are plenty of guilds on the server who do that. I just don't want to do that, but obviously I understand that some people like it. So if you're into it, I'm pretty sure I've seen at least 15 speedrunning guilds recruiting, according to Warcraft logs at least. Now, whether they're recruiting your class, whatever class you're playing, because I don't know, that's a completely different thing. But if you're just talking about finding a speedrunning guild, yeah, that's definitely not a problem. Okay, pulling Quagmiran, GG. And I've pulled at least one pack, maybe from Bogstroke, so that might be a bit of a problem. We'll see.
I don't like this place.
Go, Voidwalker, go. You're a red pala. Okay, give me a few minutes, because right now I'm being chased by the final boss of the instance. I've just pulled him, so I'm not really able to look at logs, but I will show you the speedrunning guilds I was talking about. You might have to wait for like 20 minutes though, just because, like I said, right now, as you can see, I am being chased by the final boss, the Quagmiran dude, so I'm not really able to alt-tab a lot. Or, if you prefer, I can tell you how, and you can start looking that way. But the short version is you can go to fetchwarcraftlogs.com, that is for the anniversary servers, and you go and look at speed, and you go and look at each guild from Spine Shatter, obviously, from the Horde side, that is ranked there, that has a decent rank there, and you look at their Warcraft logs page, you see whether they're recruiting or not, and if they are, then obviously you can try to apply. The issue you're going to have as a red pala is that most guilds are only going to run one red pala in their raid, so there is going to be a bit of competition. Now, so to give you the short version, and this is not going to make me very popular if anyone hears me saying it, Discord is for retards, basically. Only shit guilds are even going to look at Discords. Because the thing is, with speedrunning guilds, they know that their rankings are going to be on Warcraft logs, so they don't post stuff on the Discord they don't hang around in Orgrimmar screaming we're recruiting speedrunning people. They are looking for the kind of people who know how to find them. And obviously knowing how to find them is a matter of being a speedrunner yourself. So Discord and Orgrimmar, they're sort of like LinkedIn. Even if you find something there, it's going to be utter shit, but usually you're not going to find shit. I think I fucked up here, but it's too late to fix it now. So let's just try to make the best out of it. Might get hit, hopefully not. Yeah, I did get hit. It's not a big deal though. Oh shit, I pulled both backs. Well, we're going to call this a demonstration of skill, am I right? So yeah, basically, you know how sometimes if you're looking for a job, you might go and you might be looking at LinkedIn? Well, you might find a job there, but if it's posted on LinkedIn, it's usually shit. Because the real jobs, paying real money, those are not on LinkedIn. For those ones, you've got recruiters contacting qualified candidates directly. They don't bother with this sort of bullshit. It's the same with WoW and with guilds. Good ones, they're not going to be on Discords or yelling in Orgrimmar, posting in trade chat or whatever. The ones you find on Discord, they're usually shit guilds, either in terms of performance or other stuff. Blood distribution, performance, execution, attendance, there are going to be a bunch of shitters there usually. Because if they were good, you would just find them on Warcraft logs and you would apply to them directly, which is what I had done initially. Oh, I got them synced and two groups, not just one, to make things even worse. If you've been, if you watched the video I put up where I was looking for a guild, then you may have noticed what sort of results you get by talking to people who post on the Realm Discord, and they are not good, brother. They're not even close. They are usually the worst of the worst. And the sad part is they also tend to think they're good. How did I manage to screw that up? No, so to tell you the truth, that Discord posting thing, it was a bit of a Hail Mary, but I kind of expected it not to work. I kind of expected to only be contacted by shitters, so it did not come as a huge surprise. With decent guilds, with good guilds, they're not going to bother with that. They are going to be relying on Warcraft logs for recruiting. And what I mean by that is not just waiting for you to post there. Sorry, not just waiting for you to look for them. They're also going to be looking at the highest parsers of a specific class on the server, or at least ones who are able to come up with decent parses. They're gonna obviously check if any of them are ungilded, but sometimes they will even approach people who are already in a guild and try to poach them. Not saying that in a negative way or whatever, but that's how things work. They don't bother with this sort of shit. Discord, Orgrimmar, that sort of nonsense is definitely not for them. They mostly tend to think that they are too good for that, and that they tend to be right about it, to tell you the truth. So, as a warlock, I could afford to do that, because as a warlock, guilds tend to look for generally 3-4 warlocks in a raid. But as a red pala, where you would be the only red pala in the raid, I think you're going to have to approach them instead of waiting to be contacted. It's a bit more complicated, I think. Shit, I can't afford to do that guy because Quagmiran is way too close. Fuck. Hey bro, go away please. Thank you. That was a bit close. Kind of dangerous if you manage to get them desynced that much. Whatever though, it's just what, the boss and 7 mobs, I think. Okay, let's get these guys in range as well. To pay? No, you don't need to pay anything. What are you talking about? I'm a bit confused right now. What is an S2 sub? Like, it might be a stupid question for me, but I don't know what is an S2 sub. Never heard of that before. Oh shit, they're already spawning. $2 subscription? I mean, if you want to support Warcraft logs and if you can afford just throwing $2 out the window, then you can definitely do that. I'm sure there are going to be some advantages. Personally, I kind of despise what they're doing, so I would never subscribe to them. It's not a matter of money, it's a matter of principle. So I wouldn't do it, but if you want to support them, you can. You don't need to, though. I'm pretty sure about that one. Oh, sorry, I even misread that. You wrote $2, but I read it as S2. I've got the chat on the other screen, and I am just slightly distracted by this boss and his nonsense. Come on, dude, go away. I should be done with this boss soon, and I will walk you through the steps if you're interested. I mean, soon is a relative term, but as soon as the boss dies, I will show you what I'm talking about and how to find that guild. Now, whether they are or they aren't recruiting your class, I make no promises in that regard, but I can at least show you how to find what you're looking for. Let's bring him back, put up another Curse of Doom. Holy shit, just 4.8k, that was utter shit. That's not even worth doing, what the fuck. You don't need to claim a character. You don't need to do any of that shit. I've not done that, I've not claimed my characters, I couldn't care less. It's completely unnecessary. Poison volley. Well, maybe not. This kill always takes a bit of time. Because, I mean, obviously it's not intended as a... It's not intended to be soloed, so... Nope. I noped the hell out of that poison volley. Oh well, whatever. It's just tanking a hit every now and then. No big deal. Okay. He's already on like 50%, so yeah, if you can wait a few minutes, we should be able to go through that. Poison rolling. Oh shit, it's because I've not sacrificed my pet, that's why I'm not regenerating HP, fuck. That is super stupid. Too late to fix that now, I guess. Okay, let's juggle him for just a few seconds. Should give him enough time to try to do the volley. Come on, bro, try to do that poison volley already. Perfect. She's playing. No. In the meantime, just to prepare for this, can you type your character name, the red pala, in the chat? Just so I can try to give you an example. Because I'm gonna be done with this guy soon. He's already on 27%. He's not done the volley yet. Fuck. Okay, now he has. So, alright, come on. That's the spirit. Mm. Percent, 6%. No, okay. We get 5%. 4%. Nice. Nope. go back. I'm just gonna let corruption kill him. Fuck him. Yeah, it is heroic, of course. What do I get? Breastplate, 6 gold, 3 gold. This does not have a price showing up. And the nether, of course. Just 2 gold. And shit, but I did want the nether, so that is what it is. Okay, I'm done with this thing. So, if that's okay with you, please type your character name in the chat. And we can take a look at the whole thing, and I will change the screen sharing thing to show the browser window, and I'll try to show you how to do that, how to find the guild. Agero. Okay, give me just a second. Let me just bank this shit, and I'll fire up a browser window, and I'll try to walk you through it. How many do I have? Because I need 6. 3. Yes, I'll just have to do this 3 more times. Okay, let me, like I said, let me fire up a window. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's good news and there's bad news. Good news is that I did find your character. The bad news is what I'm seeing here. I'm trying to switch the browser, to switch the window that I'm sharing to this thing. It's proving to be a bit of a problem. This not working properly. The browser window's not showing up. Let me see if I can do that. Add source, the browser. No, I don't. I'm asking, are you able to see the browser window? Or, I don't know, are you able to hear me? Like, you know, test 1, 2, 3. You are able to hear me. All right. So, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is that I have found your character. It's right here. You don't need to claim it or anything like that. It's fine if it stays there. The bad news is that with these parses, no speedrunning guild would even consider recruiting you. Like, there's no way. And if you're serious about this, you're going to have to improve the parsing. Now, don't get me wrong, I have to leave room for trolling here. You could be someone else just making fun of this character, completely unconnected to it, and so on. But if this is your character and if you're serious about it, you're going to have to improve it quite a bit. Because zero speedrunning guilds would consider recruiting someone with these parses and this gear to begin with. That aside, because that was not what I was going to discuss with you, this is how you would normally start looking for a guild, right? So you go to Classic Fresh, this will be the anniversary server, right? And you said you would be looking for a speedrunning guild. So you see how in here you've got these tabs: TK speed, SSC speed, speed, all stars. I will, but no one's going to look at Karazhan for you. So you can go here to speed, right? All stars, and you can do view more, right? This would start showing you the top guilds on each server, right? And once again, you go and click on view more. You would switch the region to Europe, because obviously you're on Spine Shatter. You would be looking on Horde, because if you've been raiding with the guild I'm in the Pug, then you would be on Horde. And at this point, you start looking at the guilds that are on Spine Shatter Horde. So you would start with this one, right? Say Never Bending. This would be supposedly number one, right? It doesn't look particularly good, but as you can see, I mean, it doesn't look particularly good here for SSC and TK. But you would start looking at whichever guilds were the fastest, right? And you would start checking whether they are recruiting a Retribution Paladin, which is what you are. This guild, for example, as you can see, it is looking for a Retribution. But if you look at their ranking, they are utter shit. Like, nothing against them. It's just that they're not good at all, from my point of view. What I prefer to do though is, instead of looking at SSCTK, I go and look at SSC separately. By doing this, you go here, you go to more, right? And I'll explain that. You would obviously be looking at Horde, and you would be looking at Europe, right? And you can see here you've got progress, number one in terms of speed. You can see the duration here, 36 minutes clear, right? That's very good. And obviously, if you're interested in joining them, you would have to look at their guild page, right? You would have to check what they are recruiting and so on and so forth. So you would go here, you would click on the guild name, right? And you would see whether they're recruiting. Okay, and here you can see progress is not recruiting at this time. Tough luck. You move on to the next one, convergence, right? And again, you go here, click on the guild name, you check whether they're recruiting. They have, as you can see, oh, is this Suomi? Is this Finnish guild? Yeah, this is the Finnish guild. Based on your username, Mohammed, I don't think you are going to be particularly interested. I'm going to assume that you don't speak Suomi, so probably not for you. Praxis. I remember this guild from a different server. And again, you go to their Warcraft logs page. Not for my current guild, but I did do it for other guilds that I applied to. This is how I approached those guilds initially. The problem with me was that I wasn't looking for a speedrunning guilds. In fact, I was trying to make sure that I don't apply to a speedrunning guild. You understand? For me, it was a problem because I needed to find good guilds, but guilds that were not speedrunning, because I don't want to speedrun. But this is how you would approach it. Since you are looking for a speedrunning guild. But the first thing, so you keep doing this obviously for every guild that might interest you. Eventually, you're going to find one guild who is going to be recruiting Red Pala. Okay, see these guys, they are recruiting other. I mean, I'm not saying it's not fun, but for me, it's not worth it. It's not a matter of being fun. It's a matter of not worth the effort. And let me try to explain that. So my characters have not been created and built with speedrunning in mind. That matters because when you want to create a speedrunning character, you have to follow certain steps that normal characters don't. So, for example, you would go through both engineering specializations, both Gnomish and Goblin, because you want specific trinkets. Like, if you watch any speedrun on YouTube, like even the progress one, right? If you're going to watch it, you're going to see people using specific items. For example, the gnomish cloaking device. You're going to see people using the runes of warding, right? Which normal guilds don't use. So you have to build your character with some professions in mind, and you have to go through specific steps. You want to have the engineering boots as well, rocket boots extreme or extreme light, depending on your character, depending on your class. You want to carry a bunch of different gear, a bunch of different trinkets, and if you're a caster, and I am playing a caster, you have to carry like a truckload of drinks with you because you want to drink walk. See, drinking works kind of like this. You press that drink thing, there is a tick, and when there's that tick, that's when you gain HP. So because of that, you can keep moving, and if you press the drink keybind while you're moving, you would actually gain mana. So there's this thing called drink walking, where they don't stop, they keep moving, but they are also drinking at the same time. But in order to make that work, you have to carry a truckload of drinks with you if you're a caster. If you're melee, you don't give a shit, but I'm not. I play two casters. So you have to go for drink walking, you have to have your character built with specific steps done, which I've not done. And you have to go and practice either on the PTR or on a private server. Serious speedrunning guilds are doing it on their own private server. And in the end, there is no reward for it. There's a lot of extra effort involved, but no reward as far as I'm concerned. Like, don't get me wrong, and I promise this is not some envy bullshit or whatever. I don't give a shit about any of these guilds who is here listed as number one. As far as I am concerned, these guys are scrubs, these guys are scrubs, these guys are scrubs, they are all shitters. The only guilds that I would recognize as having done something remarkable in SSC were Nihilum back in the day and then Method. Because those guys had to figure out the tactics, they had to work with the roster they had, they did not get to practice, and they got to kill them first. Whoever kills them fastest now, 20 years later, after everyone and their dog knows what this is about and how it works and so on, this is completely meaningless. I do, again, you only have my word for it, but I promise you there is no envy or hate or anything like that towards any of these guilds. But to me, they radiate small dick energy. Like 20 years later, look, guys, we can do it too. Good for you. Yeah, it's like encouraging a small child, a toddler, when they manage to take 2 steps. Good for you, my guy. Meanwhile, you can run 100 meters in 12 seconds or whatever, but it's a toddler, so you have to encourage him. Like, good job, my boy. That's what I'm talking about here. So it's not that it's not fun. For some people, it is fun. I'm not one of those people. Uh, Asking me to put in a whole lot of effort for what? What are the rewards? What do I get if I do this? What's in it for me? Because I feel like there's absolutely nothing in this entire thing for me. Like, when do the rewards kick in? What do I get? And that is the only issue I've got. Like, at the end of the day, I might get, I don't know, let's say this item, right? And I can get it in a normal run, non-speed run, or I can work my ass off, take time to go and do speedrun attempts with the boys on a private server or on the PTR or whatever, and what do I get for it? What's in it for me? That said, I have no problem with people doing speedruns, good for them. So if that's the sort of thing you enjoy, you're more than welcome to join one of those guilds. But I would say that in order to do that, you're going to have to work quite a bit on improving your parses. And you will want to start taking a look at your professions as well. But with the parses that I've seen for that character, you're going to have problems joining a speedrunning guild because they're not going to take you seriously. Like, they're going to expect something over 95 for just about every boss before they consider you. Again, I don't mean this in a nasty way. It's just how things work. Let me just switch the device. It's going to be a bit annoying, perhaps, for people to hear me, but I have to do this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it should work. Just lower quality for the sound. You can explain all you like. No one's going to listen to those explanations. They're going to look at your parses and go, nah, it's not even worth reading this guy's application. It's just minimal effort for most people. You know what I mean? They don't take the time to read what you actually wrote, which is something you could have seen in my video, right? They just go like, nah, with these parses, fuck it, not worth it. One thing you need to understand is that speedrunning guilds tend to have like 30 applications for a spot, and 20 of those are going to be from people with good parses. So
realistically speaking, they're probably not even going to look at your application. It's just how things are. Again, I don't mean to sound elitist or whatever, because I'm not, but that's what they do. And you would do the same thing. Like if you were running a guild and if you had 30 people applying for a single spot, you would be looking at the guys who have the highest parses, wouldn't you? The good news is that you can fix most of your parses. You're not going to be able to get good ones like 95 plus in pugs, but you can get over 90 at least. So you can fix those. But it will take effort on your side, and I don't know if you're willing to put in the effort. At the same time, if you're not willing to put in the effort, then I don't think speedrunning would be for you anyway, right? The guild I joined, this one is not a speedrunning guild as far as I know. I mean, I hope I didn't disappoint you too much with that thing. You just take the threat off the tank. Well, then it's a shit tank. Because as a DPS in a half-decent pug, you would have salvation as well. And if a tank loses threat to a red pala, then that's not a real tank. Believe me, you would not be taking threat of me as a if I play the tank. Like if I don't get threat as a warlock, if I don't take aggro as a warlock, and I'm probably doing significantly more DPS as a warlock than you're doing as a ret, then, you know, how exactly would you take aggro? I played the tank in the original Burning Crusade, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. No, at this point, no. I don't think so. I don't think your parses would be sufficient. I think I think at this point you actually need to have SSC and TK parses. Like it's been, what, 3, 4 resets? Um, so at this point I think every half decent guild would expect you to have really good parses in SSC and TK. But look, one thing you need to understand is that fixing those parses isn't that difficult. It's actually quite easy. The question is, do you understand what speedrunning implies? Oh, how do you fix the parses? Okay, I'll answer that question, but first, please answer mine. Do you understand what speedrunning implies? That's the wrong answer, mate. That's that's not what I asked. Do you understand what it implies for you as a player? Let me just switch back to the original microphone.
1, 2, 3 test. Yeah, seems to be working. No, you're not sure. Okay, so let me try to answer your questions, and please feel free to interrupt and to type whatever questions you might have. So let's switch back to a browser window, and I'll try to answer both of your questions. Give me just a second, please. Okay, so let's take a look at my priest, right? Okay, my parses are still crap. I got super griefed this previous run. I'm not gonna get into it too much. It's enough to say that, and let me actually mute the in-game sound and music. So I got super grief because we were 24 people and I had super bad luck. If you were watching the stream, you could see that I was popping potions and getting CC'd and shit like that. But firstly, how do you fix the parses? Because that was your original question, right? So you look at this. I was with this guild, right? You can take them in order. And my first parse here, as you can see, was 59. I was in below average raid, and I was in a group without a shaman, so I wasn't getting Wrath of El and whatever. The second run, I ignored what they wanted, what they were talking about on Discord, and so-called raid assignments. I did my job and my assignments and whatever, but I ignored the larger picture. I focused on my parse. And by doing that, even though I still did not have a Wrath of Air totem, I got to 85, up from 59. And then what I did, and you'll notice there is no guild listed here, was I joined a pug. And let me show you this pug. Right? These are people I don't know, I have nothing to do with, and so on. Again, I got super griefed because you can see we were carrying like 5 people, like 2 grey parsing hunters, a grey parsing enhancement shaman, grey parsing arms warrior on follow, and obviously the so-called tank was a bit of a joke as well. But I went to that pug not necessarily to get gear, but to fix my parses. And again, what I did was I pretty much ignored what they were talking about, and without briefing the raid, I focused on my own performance in the raid, trying to do as much damage following the Warcraft rules, the Warcraft logs rules. And if you look at this rankings, right, you can see me at the top here. I didn't give a shit about what they were talking about, what they were asking the raid to do. I just focused on trying to get higher parses. And you can see I started on Lurker with a 97, 91 on Hydras. Again, it was super grief. 83 on Morrogrim, bad RNG, I got ported Watery Grave twice. Phantom Lord, they used the retarded tactic. Rio, I got a 90. Lady Vash does not matter for all speed. 94 on Alar, 88 on Void River, and so on. So in order for you to get parses, you need to go with a group that doesn't carry people, like you don't have a lot of dead weight, and you can see this pug had a lot of dead weight, right? You obviously want to use consumables. So we're talking, for me, for example, that would be a flask, weapon oil, food, and destruction potions. I did not use destruction potions in this raid because, I mean, fuck it, I'm not going to spend gold on pugs. And I wasn't looking to get 99s, I was looking to get something like 95s, or at least 90. So the way to fix your parses is you go with a group, a pug if you have to. You obviously look them up on Warcraft logs. You look up the organizer of the pug on Warcraft logs, find someone who has good parses, because those people are not going to want to carry dead weight in their raids. You go there, you focus on the parsing part. So to give you an example, if we go and look at the lurker below, right, you can see the Warcraft logs rules say that damage done to Coilfang ambushers is excluded. Now the Coilfang ambushers, these are the guys who spawn there on the platform. You get 2 Nagas spawning on each platform, the ones that shoot arrows. Well, I wasn't even looking at them, I just feared these guys, but I was actually doing DPS in the intermission to the other 2 guys, the melee ones, which actually matter, right? So if you look at this, you can see I was DPSing the Coilfang Guardians. Right in the second tab, when you hover over my name, you can see the primary target was the lurker below, and the secondary target I was DPSing was the Coilfang Guardian. So I was focusing on doing damage to those guys, not to the ambushers. The ambushers I just feared, and I let the rest of the raid kill them. But in order to do that, first you have to be aware of the Warcraft logs rules, and you also have to know the fight inside out. So you need to know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and so on. The one fight where I would say you're going to be unable to parse, and most people are unable to parse on it, is going to be Lady Vash. This one, due to what's going on there with the tainted course and whatever, is almost impossible to parse on, because if you're unlucky and you're out of range of Striders, Nagas, and whatever, you can't do any DPS. But other than Lady Vash, for most fights, unless you get shit RNG, and there are at least 2 fights where RNG can ruin your parse. This is one of them, Hydros, because you could get Water Tomb, and the second one is Morogreen, where again you can get Watery Grave. And with Watery Grave, let's see, you can see I got the second one here. You can see my name. And I'm pretty sure I got another one, not sure. No, I just got one, but it was enough to ruin my parse, because I was at 83 with one Watery Grave. If you don't get any, then you could very well be parsing 90s, high 90s, whatever. So, number one, you need to know the fights inside out. Number two, you need to know the Warcraft logs parsing rules, and you need to read up on them. That's pretty easy. You just go to each fight and you see whether there are any rules listed here, right? So, for example, for Phantom Lord, there are no rules listed. But if you look at Morogreen, damage done to Tidewalker Lurker is excluded. So, if you're spending your time DPSing those guys, you're not going to parse. Simple. It's something similar with Hydros. Damage done to the ads is excluded as well. If you're looking at, well, I don't fucking know, Solarian, damage done to the simple ads, not the priests, but the Solarium agents is also excluded. So again, you need to know the parsing rules. Number three, obviously, you have to use the consumables that benefit you. And to tell you the truth, I don't know what those are for Retribution Paladins. I'm assuming it's either flask or elixirs, food. I don't know. You should know that better than me. Maybe sharpening stone, I have no idea. Maybe something else. Haste potion or whatever, no clue. You should know the consumables for your own class and spec. And number four, you go and join a raid that isn't carrying retards. This raid, it was carrying a lot of dead weight, and that's because these guys are buying items for real money. So the so-called trade leader is actually selling items for real money. And sure, okay, so that is one thing. You have the food, haste, and flask, and whatever. What about knowing the fights inside out? Do you know every fight inside out, everything that's going to happen when it's going to happen? Do you know the parsing rules? Are you following, do you have a perfect rotation? Have you, studied and perfected your rotation, whatever it might imply? I'm not familiar with Red Palace. Well, I can tell you it's both without having to too much. So if we look at this, let me explain this to you in very simple terms. A bad raid can keep you at maybe 70, 80 parsing, right? You can parse 70 or 80 in a bad raid. Anything below 80 in a bad raid, that's no longer them, that's the problem. It's them and you. So let's take a look. What were you doing on... this has to be a joke. A parcel of one? Seriously, mate? Okay, let's look at your first one. Let's see what... Bro. Trust me, you don't know the fights. Bro, you've got a threat meter for that, do you understand? If you're worried about threat, you've got a threat meter. But in here, you look at this, you weren't waiting 10 seconds. You've started DPSing 37 seconds into this. Okay, part of it was RP, I know, because it starts with Kael'thas talking about his fucking advisors and whatever. You've done a tiny bit of DPS, and this is understandable for the first ad, because that one could very well turn towards you and fuck you up with one hit. But what's this on the second ad? 145 DPS. This is the third ad. 284 DPS. Let me just try to show you. This is not my most recent one. Which one's the most recent? This one's the most recent. Do you see me waiting for 37 seconds here? Like I'm starting at 0000, right? Straight away. And I am, as you can see, I am doing significantly higher DPS. This is like 1k something DPS. You can see the marking here on the left hand side, you know, that's 2000, 1500, whatever. So believe me when I say this, you do not know the fights. You might think you know the fights, but you don't know them. Like, how exactly does that work? Let's go back to your thingy, right? That's not how things work. If you want to parse, there is no such thing as I'm not allowed to. I know what you mean, but that's not how things work. If you want to fix your parses, you fix your parses. You don't give a shit about what you're supposedly allowed to do. So in here, right, compare this, what I was doing, what you're doing. I'm starting to DPS immediately into the fight, 0000, whatever. You can see when I started. Look at where you started. That's 37 seconds of not doing anything. You are never going to parse like that. Then you look here after you've DPS the first stand, right? This is what, 1 minute 28 seconds. And then you start DPSing another 30 seconds later. Do you see any breaks here for me? Like when my DPS goes down here, that is the transitions, right? You've killed the ad 1, then the second ad spawns and so on. But you don't see me stopping DPS. You are stopping DPS between the ads constantly. You're never going to parse like that. You can't parse like that. If you've got, what, 1, 2, 3 such things, like you've got 1 minute and a half of doing 0 DPS, how exactly do you want to parse? That's 90 seconds during which you've done 0 DPS. Fixing your parses is easy, but you can't do it like this. Like if you're sleepwalking into the fight, basically AFKing for a minute and a half during the fight, no, that's not gonna work. And okay, you might say, oh yeah, but you're a shadow priest, but that's not how things work. Like if we go and we look at this stuff, right? Let's see if we can find something. PK boss damage, right? And let's go, you said you're a paladin and your retribution, am I right? Tempest Keep, and we look at Kael'thas. So the first guy is actually from Spine Shatter, and he's done 1463 DPS on the fight, right? And we can compare his DPS here with yours. Now, his DPS here is fairly low. I assure you this has nothing to do with him. It's got to do with the fact that they're simply blowing up the ads. What do I do if I attack the NPCs? I get loot banned. If it's a pug, you take that chance. You take the chance of getting loot banned. Yeah. Like I've run 3 pugs and I walked away holding my dick, getting nothing. I don't give a shit. Like, you look at my priest, right? Let's do this. Are you seeing any tier 5 item here? I don't have anything from tier 5 and I've been running SSC and TK every single reset and I've got nothing. Zero. Nada. Yeah, if you want to fix your parses, you take that chance. Yeah, you go and attack, and if they loot ban you for it, fuck it. No problem, you're loot banned. You're either there to fix the parses or to get loot. Up to you. I'm guessing you did not expect to hear that, and well, I'm afraid that's how things work. Warcraft logs, the way it works, it's toxic as fuck, and that's how things work. Yeah, the guild leader or the raid leader will tell you don't touch the ads for 10 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever. If you want to parse, you have to ignore that fucker. And that might get you loot banned, it might get you guild kicked. Yeah, tough luck. Don't take this the wrong way, please. But are you like new to this planet? Not just WoW, but the entire planet, living on this planet. You follow the rules in this life on this planet, you're going to be a fucking pleb, um, barely getting by, barely making a living, more like slaving away, hopeless, and so on. You want to do something, you want to achieve something, you have to break the rules. It's that simple. I would not be where I am, and I'm not talking about WoW, I'm talking about real life. I would not have anything that I currently have and value if I didn't break every single fucking rule I could think of. Most of the population in this country, and I'm talking about the UK, at my age, they are in debt, struggling to pay off a mortgage they can barely afford, driving a broken down car that they can barely afford to fix. They can't afford to fix anything around the house. They're starting to wonder whether they can afford to have children, and they're barely hanging on to a job that barely pays the bills, and so on. I am not in that situation, and I'm not in that situation because I do not follow the rules. I don't mean to sound like some glorified rebel without a cause or whatever. I'm just telling you that if you follow the rules, you get cucked. And you can clearly see this here. You don't have to take my word for it. These are your parses. This is what you got for following the rules. In return, when you want to get to a better place, you can't because they look at your parses and they go like, what's this? What are we supposed to do with this? I can see you went kind of silent there. Sorry if what I said upset you or whatever, but that's how things work. Yeah, I keep talking about Kara, but no one's going to go and look at Kara. This is what shows up when you open this character's page. The current tier, SSC and TK, but fine. If you insist, we can take a look at Kara. You've got two good parses here on terrestrial and the curator, and that's it. Yeah, I can see the difference here. You got good parses on terrestrial and on the curator, but you've got an 8 on a 2-man, you've got a 27 on morals, you've got a 69 on opera. Maiden is okay with 94. 92 on Shade of Aran. It's not exactly impressive. Like if you look at Kara for my Warlock, not SSC, NTK, whatever. 99, 99, 99, 99, 98, 98, 97, 94, 91, 92. So what's your excuse for this? 8, 27, 69, 47, 62. I can see the difference, but it's still not good enough for speedrunning guilds. And I'm not trying to discourage you, I'm telling you this is what people look at, and this is what they take into account. In addition to that, they're going to immediately look right here on the right hand side, they're going to look at your gear. Do you have the best in slot gear? Yeah, the 8 was with the guild. Whatever. What was the name of that guy? AVVB or something? Let me try to find the dude. TK boss damage. We were looking at Red Pala, right? Oh, it was AVEP, not AVVP, right. So, you look at this guy right here, right? This is a Retribution Paladin, and he is number 1 among Retribution Paladin damage on that boss, right? On encounters and whatever. This guy is using the Season 2 shoulders, right? Pretty good stats. What are you using? Shoulder pads of the Stranger. He went and he got the Veteran Scale belt. This is Honor Farm, right? You got, let's see, the Red Belt of Battle, which is actually not bad at all, by the way. But you look at his gear, this guy went and put a lot of effort into his gear. He's got the Gruul or whatever, hiking Mulgar wrists. You are going with bands of Sith. Like, what the fuck? You're wearing green gloves, right? I appreciate that they do have expertise. I'm not, trying to piss you off or whatever, but how does it compare to this stuff? Because people are going to be looking at this, believe me. They are going to be looking at what kind of gear do you have? How hard did you work on your gear? Did you try your best to get the best gear out there? And you can see this guy even have DST, even has DST, by the way. Or didn't you do that? With parses, did you really try to parse or did you not? Because this 8 that you're talking about, you said, oh, it's with the guild. Sure, it's with the guild, but like, what is your excuse for getting a gray parse, an 8? I appreciate that these guys were also parsing gray, and maybe the group comp wasn't good, and maybe they are all bad anyway. But 8, it's not good enough. If it's the guild holding you back from getting good parses, then you don't go with the guild or you find a new guild for that. Or you go with the pug and you go ham. Worst case scenario, they loot ban you. Fuck them. If that's a problem for you, create your own group, your own raid, and you make the rules in that case. It's going to take effort, but you can do it. But the issue is, Karazhan aside, most people are going to be looking at this, what you've done in SSC and TK, and they're going to be looking at your gear. Perhaps, but why would it be like, we've had how many Karazhan resets now? Actually, we can find out. Because I'm pretty sure that I've been to Kara every reset with my Warlock. Or, well, not every reset, but I've been there quite often. So, I don't fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Kara resets. In 12 Kara resets, you've got one parse. That is an 8. It's kind of difficult to buy into that explanation, isn't it? Like 12 Kara resets and you've got a single parse and it's an 8. Well, that is what I asked you earlier. Do you understand what speedrunning implies? And you thought you did, but you don't. So, speedrunning guilds, they don't recruit people who hit 70 3 weeks ago. They recruit people who hit 70 on launch night. On the night of when this was launched, they expect you to be 70 on your first character and to start leveling your second character and have it at 70 on the second day. That is the alt, the main alt that you would be playing, for example. Like if you tell them I hit 73 weeks ago, they're just going to tell you to get lost. That's not how things work. Speedrunning guilds, they don't want that. They want people who are going to be 70 on launch night. Because I think you know what it implies, but you don't. The speedrun we were talking about, right, with progress and whatnot, um, two, no, you don't need 2 paladins. You will probably need 5 paladins. What do you mean, 2? Again, I don't believe you understand what speedrunning means. Do you see this fucking guild roster here? Like it's a serious question. Do you see it? These are not different people. These are a few people, all of them with multiple ads. Like, do you see this guy? Wintersham A, Wintersham B, Wintersham C, Wintersham D. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shamans at least. And that's just for shamans. There's nothing saying that this guy doesn't play other characters as well. You see this other guy. I think he's a streamer and I think he's quite popular. Holy Palace Swe, Holy Palace Swe B, Swe Y, Swe Z. Why is that? Well, it's very simple. I'll tell you why. It's because sometimes the gear you're after doesn't drop during your run. You ever been to one run where fucking nothing drops for you? Because I have. Well, they're removing RNG from that equation, as it were, by playing 5, 6, 7 characters, because not all of them will have shit RNG. Like, one of these characters had the Light Justice, for sure, on the first Kara reset. That's just the equivalent of saying, one of these guys, they had the Ring of 1,000 marks on the first reset. And then your main, you don't have a set main. Your main becomes your best geared character. All the effort I talked about with the professions, yeah, you do that on 5, 6 characters, you don't do that on one character. That's why. Like, you could be going to fucking Gruul Slayer today, and DST either doesn't drop, or you don't win the role. You don't even care. You log on the next character and the next one and the next one until one of them wins it. If necessary, you organize 6, 7, 8 Gruul runs on the same day, all of them with DSTHR for yourself. In addition to that, these guys, they will organize split runs so that they will have 6 Kara raids, or well, 12 Kara raids, 6 SSC and TK runs, and they will have like 4 mains in each, and those 4 mains are going to be given every single best in slot item. The rest of the 21 characters, they're going to be like raid fillers, and that way, when they want to do a speed run, when one tier launches, such as SSC, TK, or Black Temple, or whatever, they've got 25 people that all of them, every single one of them, they've got best in slot items for every class on every character. So I'm asking you again, do you truly understand what speedrunning implies? Because I'll tell you to your face, mate, I don't think you do. I think you, honestly, I don't think you know what you're talking about with speedrunning. Like if you're playing one character, if you don't have 5, 6 characters of the same class, all of them having gone through the whole gnomish goblin engineering thing and blacksmithing maybe and whatever, you're not even ready to start. Yes, you do need to be jobless, you need to be a real life loser, and you need to probably not actually have a meaningful relationship, and you need to buy a lot of gold. Because if you think these guys have farmed their gold in a legitimate way, no. I assure you no one that does that for 6 characters by doing the daily quests. They're probably gold star gold buyers, rated, platinum buyers on every gold buying website. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to be jobless. Yeah, you need to not really have anything meaningful happening in your life. Yeah, that's what you need. Why the fuck do you think I did not want a speedrunning guild? Because these guys, they are going to go to many, many raids, and out of 6 raids they go to, in 5 of them, they don't get jack shit. Yeah. I think many of you, many players, have this, let's say, romanticized view on raiding and speedrunning and whatever, where you think that these guys are somehow, I don't know, superhumans or whatever. No, but they're pretty much the same as you, but without a life. And with many of these, don't even think they leveled them manually, so to speak. Like, I don't want to go into details because it's not my point to, to point fingers and to say nasty things about them, but I assure you many of them are not leveled manually. And I'm not saying that they are poor in real life, like barely affording food or whatever. Quite the opposite. Some of them might very well be sort of really rich or whatever. I am saying that they don't really have a lot going on in their lives. Because, if you have to raid on 6 characters, well, you're not really going to have the best looking girlfriend, the most interesting career, and so on. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. No speedrunning guilds, thank you. So yeah, I think you will pass on speedrunning, and I assure you they would pass on the opportunity of recruiting you as things are right now. I think you may have walked into this conversation expecting something completely different, and yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but that's how things work, mate. The very minimum, at the minimum, for half serious, but just half serious speedrunning guild, you would need to have 3 characters. That is the bare minimum. And ideally, they would want you to have 3 characters of the same class. And of course, they all need to be leveled ASAP. They all need to have the right professions, as close as possible to best in slot gear and high parses and so on. So yeah, I think you will indeed pass on speedrunning. I don't think that's in the cards for you. When I asked you earlier if you knew what speedrunning implies and you said, a run with consumables and full focus, I almost laughed out loud at it, like, okay, you're one of the people who have this romantic view on raiding and whatever. No. No, that's barely even scratching the surface. That is partially why I settled for trying to chase a 99, trying to chase some parses instead of trying to chase speed running position, whatever bullshit like that. I feel kind of bad having to be the one to shine a light on this thing for you, but it couldn't be helped. Because you were under a completely wrong impression there. Well, I mean, you can, don't misunderstand me. But it's not really going to work like that. Oh, really? Retard? Sure, let's report you for language. Just because we can, not my fault you're fucking standing there doing nothing. You can try to raid log. That's totally not a problem. But the issue is a lot of guilds can't seem to settle for having a good fast raid, because the moment that happens they also start talking about speedruns, parses and all that shit. What's this guy? Max value, yeah. How unfortunate, max value, mate. It is what made finding a guild particularly difficult for me as well. On this server, at least in this release, it seems to be quite difficult to find a guild that settles for running a good raid with decent parses, no wipes, no raging, and no cheating on loot, or well, not too much, because, you know, someone's always going to cheat. There's no way around that issue. Well, that's where the problem is, isn't there? Like, you're asking me what's the most suitable guild type. Most suitable guild type would be one where people are parsing fairly high, and you can find that on Warcraft logs. I already walked you through that part. But they're not particularly worried about speedrunning. Like, their speed might not be the best out there. And usually they have a guild description on their Warcraft logs page stating whether they are speedrunning or not. When I said that I wasn't looking for a speedrunning guild, that's why I wasn't looking for one. I have a pretty, I would say, good life, real life that is, and I'm not willing to give it up for some bullshit game. So if you want to find something with good parses, that's pretty easy. You can go and you can look at the top parses on your server on Spine Shatter, and you should easily be able to find a guild with really good parses in the entire raid, not just one person. If you're only seeing one person parsing, that's a bad sign, walk away from it. But if you're seeing most of the raid parsing pretty high, let's see if we can find something. Give me a second. Let's move this back here and we go and look at Classic Fresh rankings. I was actually not looking for that. Give me just a second. You see this? This is an example. I'm not saying go and apply to this guild. This is on a US server and whatever. But you can clearly tell everyone in this guild is trying to parse. Like, ignore these two guys, they're just being trolled there with this comp and whatever, but everyone's trying to parse. There's no one there just sucking ass. So that's what you do, you find them on Warcraft logs. Or you settle for a sort of an average guild, a guild who can clear SSC and DK in about 3 hours. If you want to get both of them done in under 1 hour, well, good fucking luck with that. That requires a speedrunning guild. And if you want a speedrunning guild, then, well, we've already discussed it. What other people try to do is they join speedrunning guilds, but then they buy a lot of gold, like insane amounts of gold, enough to have, 5-6 characters boosted, enough to buy gear from various so-called pugs where loot is for sale, either GDKPs or real money transactions. If you're willing to go that route, you can also do that. Would not recommend it, but some people do. And yeah, I know GDKPs are supposedly banned, but I assure you they are going strong on Anniversary. I've been invited to several. for what you want for under 1 hour for both raids. Yeah, that requires speedrunning. And I told you some of the costs of speedrunning. We didn't even get to through the whole thing before you decided that speedrunning wasn't for you. Only thing I can say is maybe you can try to settle for 3 hours to clear SSC and TK, which is what I've done. And I know for a fact that I could do both in 1 hour, but I'm not willing to pay the price for it. There are actually plenty of GDKPs going on, and they've got a lot of real money transactions behind them, so there is a serious chance of you getting banned for them. If you're willing to take the chance, though, there are quite a few going on, mostly Iranian. Because those guys, they don't give a shit about rules or whatever. To them, it's a matter of survival. It's like, you know, Trump is bombing the shit out of them. Do you think they care about WoW rules and whatever? They don't give a shit. And they are happy to sell you gear for real money. Or you can go and join their groups as a booster. You're not going to get jack shit for gear, but you can make quite a bit of money, real money. But again, if you do that, you're going to need not just 5 or 6 characters. You're probably going to want to have like 10 characters that can pump, so you can join like 10 raids, 20 raids, and then it turns into a real job, like full-time job. If you don't mind that, you can make quite a bit of real money by doing it. I know people who are doing it, including on this server. Like that pug I joined that was selling gear for real money. But if you do that, you're going to get obviously cheated on by the pug leader, because they don't give a shit about you. They just want to make more real money. So if that means stealing out of your share, they're going to do it with no regrets, because you're nothing to them. Just a guy they need to use in order to make a quick buck and not have to work down at the supermarket or whatever, you know. It's only the jokers at Microsoft who pretend not to know about the GDKPs and real money transactions. Basically, like, I think 60% of the raiders on Spy Shuttle at least do either one of these things or both, based on what I've seen. The problem is, to join them you need to be what people call a pumper, like they need to look at your logs and see orange and pink, nothing else. Ah, you're just thinking of making some gold. Well, you can, if you join the GDKPs. Obviously, because they're Iranians, those guys are worse than Israelis. They talk shit about the Jews, but they're significantly worse. So the so-called raid leader and his clique, they're going to take like 30% out of it, easily 30%. And they're going to give you pretty much scraps in terms of gold. They're going to lie about how much gold they made and so on. So if you're hoping for something good, well, hope is not going to do much for you. If you're known as a pumper on the server though, and if you know a few of them, sooner or later they will invite you to be, one of them. But I'm telling you right now, they're going to cheat you out of fair share. It's why I no longer talk to them and shit like that. They invited me to boost people in GDKPs and to get gold and so on, but I know for a fact that they are cheating more than they normally do. So I don't even bother with it anymore. And I've been invited to do that since the first reset, but like, if you're going to even cheat me out of my fair share of gold, then fuck you. The stuff you're talking about with just joining and making some gold, I used to do that. But in the end, they started cheating so much, they got so fucking greedy that it was simply not worth my time anymore. It was becoming a joke. At the same time, I have to admit that I've not paid a WoW subscription since the days of Warlords of Draenor, when that launched. I can't even remember what year it was, but that was the last time I paid for a WoW subscription. Since then I've been paying it with tokens, which I bought with gold, which I got in GDKPs mostly. So yeah, it has some, I suppose, positive aspects, but nowadays I wouldn't join them. The Iranians got so greedy, like, every stereotype out there with Scottish people, with Israelis and whatever. Nah, bro, those all need to be changed to Iranians. Like every joke that concerns being stingy, cheap, cheating people out of whatever, that needs to have the nationality replaced with Iranian. Yeah, actually it is. WoW gold is more valuable than whatever the fuck they call their currency. I don't know. But it is certainly more valuable. Well, with that economy, it's not really a huge surprise either. Let me be clear, I'm not blaming them for breaking the rules and making some gold and some real money with GDKPs and with item sales. Good for them. The problem is that they do so by cheating the rest of the players out of a fair share, and that is something I can never support. Like, if you're just breaking the rules and running GDKPs or selling items, that's fine, but if you're cheating the rest of the players out of their share, then that's not fine in my book. That makes you a fucking cunt. The WoW rules and whatever, yeah, no one gives a shit. There's no one left to enforce them anyway. Kind of a shame for them as a country, but although they once were a great empire with a proud people and whatever, they devolved into a mass of, let's just say, into a mass of people I couldn't give a shit about. And I don't think anyone gives a shit about them anymore. The stuff they've done, yeah. And some of it was provoked by other nations, was in fact, let's say, plotted by other nations behind the scenes, but you can't keep blaming others for your own shortcomings forever. At some point you have to take responsibility. And that is something they're not willing to do for whatever reason. Probably, I don't know, maybe they think it's a matter of pride or whatever. It's just a matter of being fucking stupid as far as I'm concerned. actually write them down. Okay, and I've done the dailies on the Warlock. Fucking running out of gold with all the enchants I've had to buy and gems and shit.
Hello. See you around.
Hi, you're a tall one.
Need help? Go with us.
Okay, let's switch.
Talk to me.
Let's see if we can get this done quickly as well. Like I said, I'm slowly running out of gold. Fucking everything's so fucking expensive, I can't believe it.
Hello, strange.
Hello, bro.
Must not give up.
Okay, that was random. Come on, dude, complete the quest already. Thank you. Dumb fucking cunt. Come on. Really? I got pretty lucky and found this and found the NPC twice without too much trouble. I usually have to spend a bit of time getting that escort done, but today it was pretty chill. I just got it straight away.
What's on your mind?
You need something? See you around.
I'll step away for a few minutes while this guy flies over. Let's get this shit done on the priest as well. So fucking poor I can't afford to pay attention at this point. Got like 89 gold on the priest. I've got close to 5,000 on the warlock, but I had closer to 8. But with enchanting and gemming my
Pleased to meet
PvP gear, it's like yeah, my gold simply evaporated.
Hey there.
Lol, someone's multi-boxing. Oh, is that apes? Yeah, someone's multi-boxing 5 characters, 5 warriors. Yeah, that's it for the speedrunning part. Until you're ready to do that, you can forget about it. And yeah, those are probably 5 different accounts as well. Okay, what was it? It was this thing, right? Let's see, will that work? Just curious if these demons count think they don't, but I have to test it. Nah, these guys don't count. They are demons, but they need to be a different type of demon. Oh, well, it was worth a shot. Come on, come to Papa. Come on, dude, come here. Fuck me, that was close. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fine, I'll kill you. Just 3 more of these dudes. I don't think I've got enough mana for both of them. Nope, definitely not. Ah, fuck it. Let's get some mana and kill them. Let's see. Guess I missed that. Now we got here green. Fuck's sake. Green. Oh. I guess I can do another Slave Pence heroic run. Should be reset by now. Just need to buy a couple of potions for it. Yeah, I don't need this shit. Fine, fine. I could sell that.
Need help? Be careful.
Hey, be seeing you.
You need something? Farewell.
Let's see, what the hell did I need? I think I needed the water walking. Yeah, a couple of those water walking elixirs should be fine. If I still have enough gold on this character. Not really, I guess. Oh well, I'll just have to wait until I'm able to land and whatever. Still hasn't landed. All right. So let's head, I suppose, Shatra or to a mailbox. They really should have added a mailbox here as well, not just in Blade Edge or whatever. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. So like what, 10 gold maybe? Should be enough for a couple of potions.
Zug zug.
Zag zag to you too.
Strength.
And strength, yeah. No. That should be enough, maybe, for the next 2 rounds. Did it reset? Yeah, it did. Also check and see what we've got for the daily in Shatra, if it even changed. Where the hell were those 2 guys? I can never remember. Oh, wait. It's not reset yet. We'll check after the Reich SP. Yeah, sunrise over Nagrand. And here we go. Come on, broskies. Just keep moving. Thank you. That might be a bit dangerous. Yeah, very dangerous, in fact. Good thing I did manage to get my soulstone up. Could have waited, but no big deal. Can always just die and run through. What do I want from you? Not much. Hello. I mean, fuck it. That's good enough. Come back, bro. I've got a couple of dots I forgot. Hmm. Oh, so dangerous. Come on. How many rains of fire are you gonna do, bro? What the hell? Seriously. Hmm. Where did we go?
Don't make me kill you!
Bro, where are you going? Oh man, always taking forever to kill this fucker. Line of sight again, fuck it. Okay. Okay. was close. And we've got the shards back. That's always good. Yo, where the hell are you running, bro? Wow. That was... That was a mistake. It should be another easy nether. Now these two guys. Okay, I guess we're spell reflecting now. A bit dangerous. Yeah, you spell reflect all you want, mate. If anyone cares. Yeah, well, might as well loot the other guy too. Get something amazing. like a shiny fish scale. Bro. I feel your pain, bro. Am I too late? I think I might be too late. Yeah, a bit late to the party. Drive by and let's go. Well, I don't have the soulstone up yet, but I suppose I can probably get it ready by the time I've prepared the pool. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna mark one pack, we're going to mark the other pack. We're going to get you. Damn, Alliance, always stealing my Twinspire blessing. One pack? Just one pack? Maybe. think this time I managed to get a single pack. I'll have to double check that, but it's... yeah, it kind of looks like a single pack there. Okay. On to Papa. Yes, we all must feed Fanrath. And here we go. There's no need to be an asshole, bro. With your poison bullshit. Calm down. Totally uncalled for. This might be dangerous actually. Let's get HP back to full. Before one of these dipshits manages to kill me from under the ramp. Nope. You go back. Big nope. Maybe I can desync him a bit. Maybe. I mean, fuck it, let's try. Well, can you like not do that, please? Guess we're doing this now. Yep. That has to desync him, doesn't it? Yeah. Quite a lot even. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible desync, brother. Not gonna let it ruin it for me, but yeah, worst desync ever. Should have calculated it better. Shit, that's why I no longer have this guy sacrificed. Damn, bro. Need to start paying attention to this stuff or I'm gonna end up bloody wiping in here. Come on, come to Papa. Nope. Come on. And again. Yeah, I know. As exciting at, I don't know, as watching paint dry or something. It's really fucking boring. Come on, bro. That one should hit for 9k. The Curse of Doom, that is. That one should do about 9,000 damage. But I suppose we'll see. Probably gonna have to be the last Curse of Doom, because at this point it doesn't really make a lot of sense to keep doing that. Yeah, 9.6. That was good. Just gonna bring him down with Curse of Agony instead. Slowly, but I mean, at this point, not exactly in a hurry. No, that's not nice. I'm gonna watch those sticky. And yeah, we're just gonna let him come to us and die here. What did we get today? Wow, 1 gold. That's fucking cheap. Did I forget to? Must be in the bank somewhere. 2 gold. Like, bro, these are the cheapest fucking drops he could have had. What a cheap ass boss. And I need to sell that gem from the bank because it's apparently blocking me from picking it up again. That's 3 gold I've wasted.
Do not loiter. Farewell.
50 minutes and 8 seconds for the entire run. That's not too bad. Used to be an hour and a half.
Enubilore Delana. We will have justice.
Choose wisely.
Well, justice.
Salama Ashalanore.
Okay, well, that's it for now. See you later. Hopefully you found out something useful.